Why I hate actors who cry. So, let me answer this question in two ways. First of all, there's the crafty idea. So in other words, what do I mean when I say I hate actors who cry in terms of their craft? And then we also can look at it in terms of a professional way. And leave it to me, of course, to come up with a controversial topic. But hear me out and see if you agree with me. And if you don't, then leave some comments below and let's get into a discussion about whether you can agree with what I'm saying. So, when we think about craft, I think that there is a common misconception amongst people out there, the general populace, that acting is about emotion. And for me, when people begin to chase emotion when they are tackling a scene, they are in trouble. Because human emotion is layered, it's complex, it's never just one thing. We try to systematize it, we try to put it into boxes and say, hey, this person is sad, or this person is depressed, or this person is happy, or this person is elated. And none of that really has any true meaning for us. And I'm not sure if you've felt this disconnect in your life before, but because I have, I struggle to name my emotions. And I dare say that most characters you encounter will be the same thing. Writers are clever people. They don't just write a scene with a character holding one emotion in their head. So, what I often see when I see particularly more inexperienced actors tackling a scene is they'll start with an emotion. They'll say to themselves, well, what is my character feeling? And for me, this is where they start to get into the woods and into the swamp. They're not going to be able to answer that question because your character can and should be holding a multitude of feelings about things. People laugh at funerals. People cry at birthday parties. And when we try to be one-dimensional about our thinking with the character, we then start to create a one-dimensional interpretation of the performance. And so it is with crying. You know, I've literally seen people make notation in their scripts where they say, well, she cries here, or he cries here, whatever the case is. And this takes away all of the spontaneity that's available to you within a scene. And it's also assuming that you have the power to tell the audience what they should feel. People make a mistake by thinking that, well, if I cry, the audience will cry. This is not correct. In fact, when I've been in an audition room or in a situation where an actor's rehearsing and they start to cry because they feel that they should, it actually makes me feel really uncomfortable. I don't enjoy it. And it removes me away from the immediacy of the performance. What I think moves an audience is where we see a character who's trying to overcome. So that if the actor happens to cry in the moment despite themselves, that can become a really moving experience as an audience member. Nobody willingly cries in a public space. And so it is with your character. They wouldn't necessarily just burst into tears because the situation calls for it. For me, it's much more moving when a character is trying not to cry and then they begin to cry. So give me your comments about that. Let me know if you agree with me that painting a scene with an emotion is already getting yourself into the weeds with regards to your performance. But tackling a character's true internal desires and wants and trying to overcome an obstacle is a much more useful thing for us to play.
You come and cry of curs! Whose breath I hate, as reek of the rotten fens, whose loves I prize as the dead carcasses of unburied men that do corrupt my air. I banish you! And here remain with your uncertainty. Let every feeble rumor shake your hearts. Your enemies, with nodding of their plumes, fan you into despair. Have the power still to banish your defenders, till at length your ignorance, which finds not till it feels, making not reservation of yourselves, still your own foes, deliver you as most abated captives to some nation that won you without blows. despising for you the city. Thus I turn my back. There is a world elsewhere.
On the flip side of this, when we think about actors professionally, I just think that we've created a culture where people feel sorry for themselves, and we have this victimhood that's going on, and that, it's not fair, the industry doesn't treat me fairly, and so I'm therefore going to go and eat some worms. And again, this is one of those industries where you're stuck within the dichotomy of having to be a sensitive artist, but at the same time you have to be a powerful business person. You have to have an understanding of yourself as a product. And products don't sit on the shelves and cry for themselves when they don't get bought when you're marching down the aisle. And so it is for you as an actor. All you can do, as with a product, is to show this. These are my benefits. These are the things that I can do to improve your life. I can help you to understand my story. But if you choose not to take me, you choose not to take me and move on to the next customer. So it is with actors. We need to understand that nobody is feeling sorry for you, because this business is about supply and demand. Sitting with your friends over a cup of coffee and crying into the coffee because you're not getting work, or the industry is not treating you fairly, or there are no opportunities, is absolutely disempowering. I want to encourage you as an actor to grab the bull by the horns, grab your career by the horns, and if you're not getting the opportunities that you believe you should be given, create them. Make your own opportunities. Don't sit around and cry for something that could have, would have, should have, might never be. You need to get empowered, you need to get out there, and you need to start to tackle life and stop crying into your coffee, because nobody's going to rescue you, because there's always somebody younger, prettier, more talented, and with better training coming up behind you. You need to hold on to your place in the industry, and you need to stop crying, and you need to get out there and show the world the stories that you have to tell, because we want to see them, but you can't hold them back. I hope this has been useful to you. Love to hear your comments below. I hope I've created a debate, and please go ahead, share this, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you can see all my latest videos, which are going to be in the same vein, pretty much hoping to stir a little bit of controversy. See you in the next one.